Journey back to childhood. I want you to take a deep breath, and when you're ready, close your eyes. Take another deep breath, and I want you to imagine that the present adult self is taking a journey back to your childhood. I want you to imagine that you are standing in the front of your childhood home. When you're looking at the street of your childhood home, you will notice that everybody and everything used to be around is still there. Very soon, we'll be entering to your childhood house. I want you to take a deep breath and imagine that you are entering your childhood home, but as an invisible guest. You have walked in, and I want you to look around your childhood home. Look at the furniture, the objects, and decorations, and notice that everything that was there before is still there. As you're standing in the middle of your childhood home, as the invisible guest, I want you to listen to the sounds of this house. Is it a quiet house? Is it a noisy house? Or is it a very loud house? I want you to take a deep breath and smell the smells of the house. And as you see what you see, and you feel what you feel, and you hear what you hear, I want you to look around, and somewhere in this house, you will find your mother. And I want you to look at her carefully, as she looks exactly like she did in your childhood. See what clothes she's wearing, and look at the face and the eyes of your mother. And after doing so, you will know how your mother was feeling in this house. As you continue looking around in this house, you will see your father somewhere. I want you to look very carefully. What clothes is he wearing? Look at the face and the eyes of your father, and now you know how your father was feeling in this house. As you keep looking around in this house, maybe there is a brother or a sister, or maybe a cat or a dog, or maybe a grandparent in this house. When you continue looking around, somewhere there will be a little child. As you approach this little child, I want you to realize that this little child is the little you. Now I want you to look at the face and the eyes of this little child, as you are the only person who knows what this child is feeling in this house. Now this child is the only person who can see you. You will take this little child by his hand, and you will walk with him into your childhood room. You will sit down with him on your childhood bed, and I want you to look around in this room. Are there any books or toys? Is it the happy room? Is it the sad room? And as you sit on a bed with this little child as you once were, I want you to look at the face and the eyes of this little child. And you're the only person in the whole wide world who knows what does this child feel, what this child needs, and what makes this child happy, what makes this child scared, what this child dreams of. And because you are the only person in the whole wide world, and no doctor, no psychiatrist, or a parent knows better than you what this child needs, I want you to talk to this child and tell this child what this child really wants to and needs to hear. Now I want you to listen. I want you to listen to this child, and maybe he wants to tell you something. Maybe he wants to tell you something what he never got to say, or said and never was heard. Perhaps this child wants to show you something, or ask you something. Something he never got to ask, or was never heard. And as you are now communicating with this child, you have listened to him and told him all he needed to hear. I want you to take this child and hug him, the kind this child always wanted, but never got, never experienced, or just did not experience enough. And as you're holding this child in your arms, I want you to imagine for a moment to become this little child and feel how it feels to be held so lovingly by your adult self as you see what you see and you feel what you feel. Be there for a moment to enjoy this amazing unconditional love and care. Now you are again your adult self, and I want you to stand up from the bed, take this little child by his hand, and walk out of the room, out of the house, out on a childhood street. I want you to take this child to a very special place you might have. It might be a magical place, as the place of your imagination, or just a place you know. That place is a special place where you and your child can visit and spend the time together, just the two of you. Now once again, I want you to take this child by your arms and give him a great hug. This child always wanted, needed, but never got to experience. Or maybe just did not have enough. Now something magical is happening as this child becomes part of you. Because the child you once were is still alive in the adult self. And from now on, you can become a mother and a father to this child. The kind of a mother and the father this child always wanted, but maybe never had. You can become a brother and a sister to this child, the kind you always wanted, but maybe never got to have. In this place, you can become friend to this child, the kind of friend you always wanted to have, but maybe never had. And from now on, as an adult self, whenever you have thoughts or feelings that you know that you're not supposed to have, then know that it is not you who is experiencing these feelings, thoughts, but it is the little child within you who is feeling them. And all you have to do is to take a deep breath, go inside this special place, look at the face and eyes of this little child that lives inside you, and say to this child what you know this child needs to hear, as you are the only one in the whole wide world who knows what this little child needs. Nobody knows it better than you. And to end this, my dear friends, I want to say something. It is never too late to have a happy childhood. All of us, we can start now. Now, whenever you're ready, please open your eyes while being thankful for this experience, and return to the present moment with a gratitude and feeling as a whole you who knows how to put yourself together again. Thank you for this time, and I wish you a fulfilling life. I'm proud of you.